A final time for the 5th round of the 2022 Club 100 Cadet Championship. Here is the grid at Whilton Mill for the final. Sukmani Kira has pole position. Jakub Milcharski alongside on the front row. Rory Hamilton and Ilya Veliko start from row 2. Rhys Cranstoun and Whilton McAllister on row 3. Daniel Wisniewski and Harry Bell start on row number 4. Teddy Young and Jacob Underhill wrap out the top 10 at the start of this race. Luka Batuev and Solomon Adeniji start on row number 6. Harrison Bishop and Hayden Adams go from row number 7. Miles Burton and Adi Manu start on row 8. Noah Hobson and Oliver Sanderson start on row 9. And then of those that automatically qualified through, we've got James Vouts and Harry Knight completing row 10. We will also have our drivers from the B final. And away we go from the start line for 12 minutes here at Whilton Mill for the A final in the Cadet Championship. Brilliant start for Sukmani Kira. Look at the lead that Kira has already as they go up to turn number 2. Everybody trying to find their way around, and in the middle there's going to be an incident there. Jacob Underhill's got involved in the middle of all of that. It's a bit scrappy as they come off of Christmas Corner. That's not the start that we wanted to see.
No, a bit scrappy in the mid-pack there. Great start, as you say, Andrew, from the pole sitter from Sukmani Kira. I was going to say, the interesting one coming into this one for me, Andrew, neither of those starting on the front row have had a trophy final podium this season.
They have not.
So that's an interesting factor at the front of this one. Penalty for Whilton McAllister, which is for taking out another competitor. That's a costly one there for the young man who sits second in the points coming into today.
Penalty for Elliot Dimolo as well, one of our drivers from the B final who's qualified through alongside Max Lovell. There's the number 39 of Harry Bell, who's been fast so far today, down the inside of Ilya Veliko.
Veliko going to try and come back, getting momentum through the top part of the circuit, but can't find a counter-attack opportunity into Ashby Corner there.
So 90 seconds of this race gone. Sukmani Kira in just full control. This is a very, very impressive drive from Sukmani Kira here today. 1.2 seconds clear of Rory Hamilton at the end of lap number 1. Here's the fight for third. Whilton McAllister at the front of it, but has an ABC takeout penalty that will be applied post-race. Good scrap going on as well between the 51 of Veliko and the 19 of Rhys Cranstoun. Rory Hamilton trying to close the gap and is closing, well, is holding that gap. 1.3 seconds between first and second. And number 19 of Cranstoun looking for a run up towards Christmas Corner.
Can't find a way through though. Veliko hangs on to it here at the top of the hill.
So far this season, to remind those at home, each trophy final has gone to either Ilya Veliko or Jacob Underhill, and that's Luka Batuev off.
Yep, it is indeed. And Teddy Young is the 45 who was also off on the green stuff there, but kept it going in the right direction.
Let's have a look at that again. This was down into Jacob Underhill, and that's Luka Batuev off. Run too deep into the dust there, but that is a real shame for Luka Batuev. Was running in the top 10, will be there no longer, and that is, well, this level of race, an A final, it's going to be too much to do for Luka Batuev. 5th in points at the start of the day to race back through and get a good result.
Number 16 of James Vout there with, I think it was Adi Manu, putting pressure up the hill there. That was a battle slightly further back. We're looking here at Ashby Corner. You can see there the 21 of Solomon Adeniji leading a good battle over 7th place in the number 21 cart. We're looking here though a little further up the field. This is the 3rd place battle if I'm not much mistaken. And I'm not much mistaken for once. That is Whilton McAllister in the 46, still holding off against Harry Bell. But bear in mind there is a penalty hanging over Wyatt to be applied at the end of the race. And they come up the hill one more time. And Wyatt McAllister, wider line out of 2, has given the opportunity there for Harry Bell to have a look through the inside of Christmas Corner, and he's done so. And can he keep it together? He's going to be run there with 2 wheels on the grass. Robust racing here over the top of the hill, but it stays as they were with McAllister in that 3rd place. Velico now all over the back of Harry Bell in the 51. He's going to get the switch back out of Wilkin. He's going to try down the outside here of Oziers, and Bell needs to be careful because Cranston's there as well to pick up the pieces, and that is through for Velico up into 4th place. And the 19 now of Rhys Cranston tries to find a way through. He'll get a good drive off of this part of the corner, but as we saw earlier today, drivers know how to position that car on the exit of that to deter anyone from completing the move.
Forcing driver wide, penalty in now for White. McAllister contacted around, goes Harry Bell. Oh, that's a really tricky spot to be stranded in. Everybody's got to be paying attention to the yellow flags. It was Milcharski who had nowhere to go. Did well to save it and keep it pointing in the right direction. But let's look at that again. This is Cranston and Bell. This gives me reminders of a BUKC finals a couple of years ago. Bell stranded. Oh, Milcharski so lucky there to not end up in the barrier. There's also off towards the back. That's the number 34 of Miles Burton off track. And there's 2 more karts involved. It's all breaking down a little bit here in the A final for the cadets. That may have also been a start from the grass. No problems though for race leader Sukmani Kira. 2nd meeting of the year for Sukmani. She's running really well here. Knows this place superbly, and I've got to say I think this is one of the best performances I've seen Sukmani put in after a few years of racing. 3.5 seconds clear of the rest of the field at the moment. Very impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. Good clean drive as well so far from Rory Hamilton in that 2nd place, keeping himself ahead of all the action. There's a penalty for Jacob Underhill, which is a bump and pass. Currently running in 15th is Jacob. So that's a bit of a costly one for him to receive. But yeah, brilliantly controlled so far by Kira. And there's Rory Hamilton, the next car down. Having a bit of a quiet one here. They've got half the race just under to go that they can control this one. But it is down in 3rd place where things get interesting, where you've got Wyatt McAllister trying to hang on to that 3rd place on the road. That would not actually bag him the trophy for 3rd place because he's had that penalty applied to him. So it's currently Rhys Cranston who sits in that provisional last podium spot. And then there's a bit of a gap now that's opened up in all the drama that we saw down at the last lap. Oh no, sorry, Velico is sticking with them. Yeah,
McAllister's just had a half spin though there through Ashby Corner.
Okay.
It isn't going well, unfortunately, for Wyatt McAllister. There's Rhys Cranston, number 19, Ilya Velico. This is all right though for Ilya Velico. And plenty of points. This is the kind of day that sometimes you have as a championship leader, where you're not at the front. It is a bit of a damage limitation job, but the work that Velico has done earlier in the season has definitely put the pressure on other drivers in the championship. And you know, Wyatt McAllister, problems today. Harry Bell, problems today. As down the inside there is the number 72 of Harrison Bishop.
Yes, this is Adeniji, who just got a penalty for bump and pass, which might have been what led to Wyatt's half spin at Ashby on that last lap. Potentially, because he's been given that bump and pass penalty. So,
actually, no. McAllister's half spin was semi on his own.
Oh, okay.
So, okay. Just caught that on the edge of our cameras.
So this is the battle for the final podium spot.
Yes.
At this point, Rhys Cranston, Ilya Velico, and they've managed to pull out quite all the battling over the last few laps. They've got 3 seconds in hand over 5th place, which is now occupied by Harrison Bishop, who I want to say I have not seen a penalty for Harrison.
Nope.
So I think that is a legitimate 5th place. So I think your top 5.
Track them at morning, though.
Okay. So the top 5 are genuine, as
Yeah.
it were, in their positions at the moment. But we have seen a penalty for Solomon Adeniji, for Wyatt McAllister. These are drivers who have accrued some penalties, so it might pay dividends for Teddy Young and Wisniauskas as well. Hayden Adams as well, quite close with them. Good little battle in the mid-pack going on there.
4.7 seconds the lead then for Sukmani Kira. She is driving so well. 5.2 now. Pressure well and truly off. Just got to take care of the car. What's impressed me with Sukmani today, especially this is only a second race meeting in this machinery, is the smoothness of lines. Obviously the experience around the circuit is going to help as McAllister and Bishop go over 5th place on the road. And well, is there a loose bumper perhaps on the back of Wyatt McAllister's car? There, it's a different design to the full-size CLUB100 carts. I'll just keep an eye on that one. But every time we've seen Sukmani on the screen, the precision of the lines, she looks completely comfortable with the kart and how it's handling around the circuit. And that's the thing we have to remember with this format. It's not the same. It's the same spec of kart, but it's the not exact same kart that a driver has race by race by race. She's been able to transfer the skills very well, irrespective of which kart she's been in today.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. That is extremely impressive to have seen. As I say, relatively little experience in the CLUB100 machinery. Teddy Young there with a bump and pass penalty, which means I now get totally lost beyond 4th place in this race for who's actually in 5th place. So I think it's Wisniauskas, actually. But it's going to be an interesting one to see how that all comes out in the official results here.
An important thing for a lot of these drivers at this age of 7 through 10, particularly with the age category changes that are coming in next year, racing with a Micromax engine. I do get the feeling that it's going to become a much bigger thing in the UK in the next couple of years, with plans afoot for it. It is a very good moulding ground for drivers at this age between 7 and 10. But here is your race leader on the last lap. Sukmani Kira finished 2nd and 10th in the 2 races at PF International earlier in the season. This, pending getting round the last half of the last lap, is going to be a round victory for Sukmani Kira down the back straight into the boot. How many times has Sukmani Kira done this over the years at Whilton Mill Kart Club? Will any of those races felt as good as this? Round the final corner, your winner for round 5 of the CLUB100 Cadet Championship is Sukmani Kira, and it's a dominant victory. Rory Hamilton takes 2nd place. Good result for his championship. 3rd is going to go to championship leader Ilya Veliko. 4th, Therese Cranston. 5th on the line. This is where the post-race penalties will begin. Wyatt McAllister across the line in 5th. Teddy Young in 6th. Harrison Bishop 7th. Solomon Adeniji in 8th. Daniel Wisniauskas in 9th. And Hayden Adams is going to complete the top 10. Difficult days, though, for Noah Hobson in 11th. Oliver Sanderson recovers well, having been in the B-level races to 12th. Jacob Underhill, I think, deserved a bit more than 13th today.